relationships matter because people buy people, and that's why I buy Eddie Zarin Insurance of the Zarin Insurance Agency in Pensacola, Florida. A family-owned business with over 50 years in the business, and they treat people the right way. From homeowners insurance to contractors insurance, condo insurance, commercial insurance, all the different coverages that are out there, and of course auto insurance, they've got you covered. They worry about you first. You're more than a policy number. You're a person who they're watching out for, not when the sun is shining, but after the hurricane has left. If you want real service with real savings, contact Eddie Zarin at the Eddie Zarin Insurance Agency. www.zarininsurance.com. Give them a call today. You'll be glad you did when you do.
And let's bring in host of the Grassroots Truthcast podcast, Gene Valentino, for more reaction. Gene, good to see you. President Trump, again, had the response about the casino. I want to play a little bit more of his response in the Oval yesterday. Here it is.
Was he betting that they would get him or they wouldn't get him?
It sounds like he was betting on his removal from office, that Maduro would be removed.
Well, that's
it sounds
interesting.
like he was involved in the operation.
That's like Pete Rose betting on his own team. It's a little like Pete Rose. Pete Rose, they kept him out of the Hall of Fame because he bet on his own team. Now, if he bet against his team, that would be no good, but he bet on his own team. I'll look into it, yeah.
I mean, President Trump having a lighter moment there, obviously, in such, dark times. And he's just sort of saying, well, he's betting for our team. But what do you make of the fact that this happened? And it was $400,000 win. Again, this is all just accusations. It's got to go through the legal process, innocent until proven guilty, Gene. But are you concerned about how this may spiral and go other places?
That's correct, Bianca. It's not as egregious as the other things in the news today, but where is it going? I think there could be a major issue about how we use all sorts of information. I think Congress ought to get to their issue of being agnostic and hands-free from business activities and investments based on their inside knowledge of their voting on certain issues is a good place to start. Mm-hmm. I think that would set the precedent for what I consider a smaller issue like this, but it's unethical. It's not proper. And it's inappropriate. And I think the president took the right approach by saying, let me look into it further. He doesn't like it, but let me look into it further. I feel the same way. I think our nation has to be careful how we marginalize or margin the opportunities that we see on the news.
And we talked about the pardon. I mean, Anna Paulina Luna, the congresswoman from Florida, said that he should be pardoned. If you're not going to go after all the insider trading that happens in Congress, why should this soldier take the fall? But again, it was, I think, to drive home the hypocrisy that what is happening as insider trading and stocks are such a big issue for sitting members of Congress with the information intel they get that Americans don't. We know that. I want to move on to this. Pretty wild. You have the chair of the Virginia Democrat Party, and he's a state senator, Lamont Bagby, saying, I get rural America. I mean, I watched shows when growing up like the Dukes of Hazzard. Here he is.
And listen, I almost took issue with the other side saying that we don't understand. But I grew up watching the Waltons. I grew up with Opie. I even watched the Dukes of Hazzard. I think I know a little bit about rural America.
I mean, so does he know about the law because of Law and Order, Space, Star Trek? I mean, it does seem like a strange comment to make. And if you're in rural America, maybe you're offended, maybe you're not, Gene. What's your take?
Well, the voters don't need nostalgia. They need representation, not reruns. I used to be an actor, and I was the second choice for John Boy on the Waltons. Richard Thomas was a buddy of mine. And
oh, really? I didn't know that.
I can tell you that wasn't America. That's what producers thought, and a storyline would be for America. But to now see that we're putting our decisions in government based on syndicated television.
Wow.
What's next? Tax reform inspired by sitcoms? Where are we going here?
Yeah, and I also do think that it's so normal for the left to sort of talk about the flyover states and really criticize rural Americans from their elite outposts and ivory towers. So it is, I agree, a way to sort of subliminally poke fun at people who are hardworking and the backbone, of course, very hard workers in our society in America today, and we're grateful for them. All right, I want to get your take on this. Axios has this reporting saying the House Democrats, they're not hiding it. They're saying, we want to impeach President Trump on day one. I'm not surprised. You're not surprised. But will they actually do it? Of course, they have to take back control. But we do know 85 House and Senate Democrats called for Trump to be impeached or removed from office through the 25th Amendment following his comments about destroying Iran's civilization. So I think this is just a preview of what's to come.
It's amazing they're spending the time to stage and orchestrate an impeachment for against a person like this, when in the same last 10 minutes we talk about serious wrongdoing that's more blatant. We've talked about wrongdoing in the prior administration that hasn't been addressed. We talk about Jay Powell, who gets a pass that he's expecting from the Republican administration. And here they are spending their time orchestrating a potential impeachment against Donald Trump for actions that have not even been vetted yet. And coming forward for a third impeachment. They need to get back to work. It's now getting serious. They need to work on that SAVE Act and other like balancing a budget, for crying out loud. And they need to do their job. I submit we need a constitutional amendment to now enforce penalties against Congress and get us away from these kind of antics.
How about funding DHS before the recess?
Oh, there you go.
70 days. There you go. Gene, always good to see you. Thanks for stopping by today.
Relationships matter because people buy people, and that's why I buy Eddie Zarin Insurance of the Zarin Insurance Agency in Pensacola, Florida. A family-owned business with over 50 years in the business, and they treat people the right way. From homeowners insurance to contractors insurance, condo insurance, commercial insurance, all the different coverages that are out there, and of course auto insurance, they've got you covered. They worry about you first. You're more than a policy number. You're a person who they're watching out for, not when the sun is shining, but after the hurricane has left. If you want real service with real savings, contact Eddie Zarin at the Eddie Zarin Insurance Agency. www.zarininsurance.com. Give them a call today. You'll be glad you did when you do.